Hi everyone, welcome to Engage 2020. Thank you for joining us today. Before we start, I wanted to share a legal slide here to confirm that trademarks are not endorsements and this session contains forward-looking statements. My name is Connor and I'm a Customer Success Manager here at Smartsheet. I'm currently based out of a London office in the UK. It's my role here at Smartsheet to help your organization leverage the platform to achieve your business goals. I do that by assisting in the building out of Smartsheet solutions that align with your business initiatives, offer guidance on Smartsheet best practices, and drive user adoption to ensure you're getting the most value out of your Smartsheet investment. Today, we're looking forward to a fantastic session with Willie Vance from Howden Technology. I've had the privilege of working with Willie and the team at Howden for almost 2 years now. Together, the Howden and Smartsheet teams have worked collaboratively to create impactful solutions, some of which you'll see shortly. Today, we're going to deep dive into how Howden Technology leverage Smartsheet and 10,000 feet to collaborate across the entire business, consistently report at scale, and manage resource loading across their division. I'd now like to introduce Willie Vance and Howden Technology. I'd also like to thank Willie for taking the time to share his story today. I'll now pass it over.
Thank you, Connor. Firstly, I'd like to thank Smartsheet for the opportunity to take you through the journey which that Howden Technology has been on for the last 2 years in relation to Smartsheet. I am Technology Project Management Lead within Howden Technology, and I was kind of instrumental in implementing and introducing Smartsheet into the Howden business, if I'm honest. Today I'd like to just give you an overview of who Howden are, give you an overview of what Howden Technology actually does. Some of the business challenges, so what led us down the path of looking for a solution to some of the major challenges that we had as a business. Give you a bit of an overview on why we decided to go down the Smartsheet route, why that was the preferred solution for us, and also the bolt-on of 10,000 feet, which we've done quite recently. Let you see what the results, the benefits have been to Howden Technology, and just a little bit of reflection on, if we had to do this all again, what would we do differently? So Howden, what is Howden and what is Howden Technology? Who are we? Well, Howden designs, engineers, supplies air and gas handling solutions worldwide across a number of sectors. If you think about fans that you see in a house, for moving air, for cooling people down, if you take that and imagine a fan of 3, 4, 5 meters diameter, that's the kind of industry that we are in and the kind of products that we provide. We were established over 150 years ago in Glasgow, Scotland, and we've grown to become a worldwide organisation. Currently I have over 6,000 employees across 26 countries worldwide. From a Howden Technology viewpoint, we're the centre of excellence for advanced product development and understanding within Howden, and we provide technical consultancy, problem solving, product development and services to other Howden business units and customers worldwide. We also supply bespoke software programs for product selection and automated drawing production. And again, they are used throughout the Howden organisation. Howden Technology is headquartered in Renfrew, Scotland, but we have offices in Hengelo in the Netherlands and Næstved in Denmark. The kind of disciplines and capabilities across the Howden Technology organisation, aerodynamic engineering, mechanical engineering, rotor dynamic engineering, software development and equipment testing, both in client site and in-house. So what we offer is a range of services to be able to develop new products and also troubleshoot any problems that we have, that a customer client comes back with from site. You'll notice that the majority of our disciplines and capabilities are spread across our sites in the Netherlands, Denmark, and Renfrew. In project management, we are very much core within Renfrew. We're a small team. Project management lead, which is me. We have 2 project managers and a program controller who has been very, very involved in the development of Smartsheet and 10,000 feet. And we're tasked with providing professional project management support across the Howden technology organisation sites. So what were the business challenges for Howden Technology that led us down the path of going out and looking at what was available? As I said, we deal with Howden businesses worldwide, and we need the ability to share information and data easily across these sites. But probably more important is that we need consistent data being shared. We need one source of truth. What we were finding was we're sharing Excel spreadsheets. We didn't know, are we all looking at the same one? Is there actually, an update to this data? So that was a real challenge for us. The other thing that became very apparent was that we needed the ability to present project information in various formats. Project managers love Microsoft Project Gantt charts. The unfortunate thing is engineers don't. So what we were finding was, as we were presenting 300 lines of a Microsoft Project Gantt chart, we started to lose our audience. What the engineers were interested in is, what do you need me to do? When do you need me to do it? And what do I then need to do next? So that was quite important for us to have some mechanism of being able to do that. The other thing is that because we're spread across various sites, we needed visibility of resource loading across the entire team, and we needed visibility of holidays. Renfrew, we don't have set holidays. They're very much, ad hoc. So we have very flexible holidays. When you go to Denmark and the Netherlands, you start to get into a situation where, especially in Denmark, for the entire month of July, people are on holiday. The entire team are usually on holiday for 3 or 4 weeks. So we needed to understand what that actually did to the projects that we were working on. And it wasn't just about that visibility of resource, it was about the ability to manage the resource to ensure that we could effectively deliver the projects that we were tasked on delivering.
Well, just a quick question. So you mentioned the need to share information across the business globally. Can you tell us a little bit more about the different functions and teams that are involved in that?
Yeah, we deal, as I said previously, we deal with the Howden organisation worldwide. For example, we have projects running where we are very involved with our Chinese colleagues in Howden, and we needed to be able to be presenting the same information and looking at the same information during our fortnightly progress calls with them. We also call on some of our other colleagues in India to assist in some of the projects that we're working on. If we feel that we have a bottleneck in resource, we'll reach out to our other colleagues our other business units and see if they have some capability to assist us. So, very important that we're all talking the same language, we're all looking at the same data, and we're all sharing the same information, Connor.
Brilliant. And I guess then just to follow up on that, so I know you briefly mentioned the ability to display information in different formats, and going global. Can you talk to, I guess, to the crucial nature, if you will, given the different types of teams that are involved? So, as you said, viewing the data globally, but the importance, I suppose, of viewing that in a manner that makes sense to them.
One of the, as I said before, one of the things that we did find was that presenting a Gantt chart did not, it didn't tick any boxes for engineers. It really didn't. Project managers got really excited about 400 lines of, of Gantt chart and information. And as I said, what the engineer was interested in was, right, okay, I understand all this, but what do you need me to do? When do you need me to do it by? When do you need me to hand that off? I'm not interested once it's handed off. I'm interested about when do you need me next? So that was really important for us. And when we started sitting down and looking at what we needed to address all these various issues and concerns, one of the things that came to the fore was that the ability to present information in a Kanban view was very, very important. My boss, David Mitchell, who is the director of technology, was very keen on finding a solution that actually gave us that Kanban view, that card view, to be able to give the engineers, their work list for, the next week or the next month or the next, couple of weeks.
That's great. Thanks for sharing, Willie.
Okay. So, what led us, to the Smartsheet solution is some of the things that we spoke about there, Connor. It was that ability to share workspaces and sheets across the Howden business. That was, quite powerful for us when we started to look at potential solutions, and Smartsheet definitely, ticked that box in a big way. The same information data being shared and viewed by all our associates involved in the projects, again, was very important. That ability to share the information without having to go into, numerous different levels of licenses, just being able to share, give them different levels of access to the workspaces, from a viewer, editor if we wanted them to go in and do some updates, or even administrator if we wanted to hand that off, to the technical lead on the project. One of the other things was, that ability and capability to upload data and also include comments, with editor and administrator access to the wider team was absolutely fantastic. If I could just show you an example of how we use that, this was a project where it was a problem-solving project. I removed the name of the project to protect the guilty, but it was about, we had to gather a lot of different information, historical information, in various formats. It was in Excel spreadsheets, it was in PDFs, it was in Word documents, it was, very bad photocopies. And actually having that ability to be able to, attach these various data that we required was really, really powerful, and is really powerful. And the ability to add those comments in. So not just adding in the file, but actually, giving some pointers to, well, this is actually what this data is about. So please read it in this context, was, for this particular project and projects that followed on, was fantastically powerful for us. Really, really, gave us that ability to share the same information in the same way, so that when we had our daily calls, we went into a daily management mode, our daily calls, we were able to talk the same language, bring up those pieces of data and talk our way through them. And what the other associates that were involved in this project found really useful as well was not just the ability to view the data, but actually to download it, and being able to make notes in that and highlight areas of it. They really found that extremely helpful in that particular context. Okay. The other area was round about our resource loading. So getting visibility of, who was working and what, and who was actually on holiday. The number of times that we get into a situation of asking, where's Ken today? Is he ill? Is he off? Is he on holiday? And with a very archaic system. Sounds incredible for a company that is, worldwide with 6,000 employees, that we used something as archaic as a sheet of paper that someone filled in and then put it onto their manager's desk for it to be signed off. And that, in itself, engineers are terribly untidy people. So, the manager would come back, he'd lay something on top of the holiday request sheet, and 3 weeks later, after, the associate was either on holiday or came back from holiday, he'd find the sheet and sign it off. So, what we did was we actually developed an automated holiday request sheet within Smartsheet to use it in a different way. And just, to show you what that looks like, it replicates exactly what we had in that written sheet. But now we have added in automation that whenever someone, raises a request and saves that sends an automatic email to their line manager for them to review and approve, that holiday. But we go a little bit further than that, because it's all good and well, understanding, Ken or Willie, they've put in a holiday request, but what does that actually mean for, Howden technology and Renfrew? Who else is on holiday at that time? So we've actually linked our holiday request sheets into a holiday planner, so that gives visibility to all the line managers of, who's on holiday at the same time. So you'll see here the holiday requests that have not been signed off yet appear in red, and that just gives an understanding for the our line manager to look at that and say, well, okay, yeah, Willie's looking for a holiday on Monday. There's a couple of other people, but actually they're not involved in the project management side of it. So, gives us that visibility. You may have noticed quite a lot of holidays in for Friday and Monday. It's coming up to our traditional September weekend holiday in Glasgow. So quite a few people take holidays there. So again, we found this really powerful, and we had an understanding of who's on holiday, and when the holiday requests come in, is this actually going to cause us a problem? Is it are they off for 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Do we need to reprioritise work? Do we need to get other people, to take on their workload? So that is, how we are, the solutions that were really quite powerful for us. The other thing is, resource loading. So it's not just about getting visibility of that holiday, it's getting visibility of what our associates are working on. And when we started to use Smartsheet, it went a little bit of the way to giving us that visibility. You know, if someone is over allocated in a project, you know, you'll get the little red head icon that says this person's actually overloaded. But we needed to take it a little bit further. We wanted better visibility of understanding exactly what are these people working on. You know, we're always busy in Howden technology. We're always incredibly busy. But the challenge that we had was if senior management came across the car park and said to us, okay, you tell me you're busy, what are you busy on? We were kind of struggling to actually give that level of detail of what we were really working on. So in talking to the Smartsheet team, they let us know that 10,000 feet had actually come into the Smartsheet portfolio. So we were quite interested in that, and we took a license, we did some trials, and we actually, one of the major things that was attractive was the tie-in and the linkage between Smartsheet and 10,000 feet. That was really, you know, quite powerful for us. So we were involved in the beta testing, and that allowed us to build up our project plans in Smartsheet and then link them into 10,000 feet to, you know, just get that better visibility of resource loading. So I'd like to just show you what that looks like for us from the schedule viewpoint. So we can see, you know, from our associates what they're working on. It shows us, you know, how over allocated they are. As you can see here, you know, we've got quite a lot of associates who are quite busy, very busy. So it gives us that visibility. And if we're asked, you know, what are these people working on? What are the associates working on? What, you know, what kind of loading have they got? This view within 10,000 feet definitely gives us, you know, that capability of doing it. However, it just doesn't go that extra mile, that extra yard that we were looking for. So we started to look at how can we take the data out of 10,000 feet and use it in a more productive way for Howden technology. So as I said, we've got some software developers within Howden technology, and we got one of our software developers to actually build a program that extracted data from 10,000 feet and put that into a Excel pivot table, which we're finding is giving us really, you know, good visibility, because we can cut the data in various ways. We can cut it at a project level. So here is one of the projects that we currently have within Howden technology. It is predominantly our heaters team who are working on this. It is our heaters team who are working on this, and it shows the associates who are involved in this project and what their loading is over to the end of the year. What we use this for is that we actually use it within our monthly initiative reviews. So each of our key initiatives are reviewed on a monthly basis. And one of the things we are now doing is looking at it from a resource loading viewpoint, just to understand, have we got the right resource on this? Do we have the right associates involved in this? Does that resource loading actually look sensible, or do we need to do a deeper dive and you know, maybe look at, do we have to maybe add some further resource in, or do we need to add, you know, increase allocation, etc. to
Um,
make sure, as I said, that we are delivering against the expectations of the business.
and Willie, this is brilliant to see. So, it's clear that, or it's clear how impactful, it is that 10,000 feet is providing that data, which, gives you and the business greater visibility into your resource and resource loading. What would you say the kind of business benefits or outcomes of having this data in 10,000 feet are?
I think one of them is, as I said, that capability, Connor, of actually being able to demonstrate how busy we are within Howden technology. The other aspect is that we are, as I said, we are a problem-solving part of the organisation. So if there is a major failure at site, that suddenly one of our clients, his site goes down because of a failure of one of our pieces of equipment, we have to very quickly react to that. And having the capability of understanding who's working in what is our resource load looking like, who can we actually pull into a problem-solving project really quickly, because that goes into a situation where we do go into daily management mode of every day we're meeting, we're setting out the what we have to do in the next 24 hours. It goes into a very agile project management philosophy at that stage. So being able to have that capability of understanding who's working in what, has any of our associates actually got some capacity that we could take the work of the associate who has to go into this problem-solving team and reallocate it. Again, we've got that greater visibility, which is again really powerful for us.
And in circumstances like that, I can see why it is. And so with 10,000 feet, we've worked a lot together on it the past couple of months. There's a lot of power inside 10,000 feet. Are there any other areas or other functionality aside from what you've shown that you're currently, or the team are currently utilizing?
A really interesting question because of where we are within our planning year. We at the moment are going through our 2021 strategic planning reviews, and we are coming very close to identifying what product development projects we will be working on in 2021. So one of the areas that we are starting to work on is actually developing not only our resource profile for those projects, but also our budgets for those projects. And one of the great things about 10,000 feet and the link between Smartsheet and 10,000 feet is building up that project plan within Smartsheet with the allocation of named resources and the utilisation, and then pulling that data into 10,000 feet and having the capability of actually assigning the charging or the recharging for that associate and that discipline, their hourly rate built into 10,000 feet. We very quickly have real visibility not only on our resource profile, but also our outline project budget. And we've never had that before. We have never had that before. And it's so powerful. Again, I use this word powerful so much, and we just find that, this solution has brought an immense amount of power to us to be able to be in a situation 3 months before the end of the year of being able to build up, that profile, and actually going into 2021, and everyone who is working on the projects will know the minute they get back into work what they're working on. So really, really great for us.
That's brilliant. It's brilliant to hear.
Okay, thank you. So what have the results been for us? Well, That shared information in Smartsheet definitely supports our one source of truth requirement that we identified as being quite, a real thing that we really needed. That ability to present project information in various forums, I can't even say how great that has been for us. The majority of our projects, our multidisciplinary project reviews, are now carried out using CardView. And the engagement that we have with our engineers and our software developers, completely different to when we had, a Gantt chart up there. People their brains had left the room. Now they are totally engaged, they're involved. And even that ability to be able to, say, someone be saying during that meeting, well, actually, I'm not going to be able to, complete that task until next week. Of course, you ask the questions of, well, what's the reason for that? Do we need to reprioritise? Is this going to have an impact on the overall project? No, if the answers to that are no, we can very quickly, change the card into, the next week's, work scope. So really quite good to be able to do that. The holiday planner, again, greater visibility of, our associates' availability, and also having that capability of, when Denmark disappear for 3 weeks in the summer, we can actually look and say, right, okay, can we take any of the work that maybe the CFD team is doing within Denmark and move it into a CFT team within Renfrew? And we've done that quite recently, during that holiday period. The resource data from 10,000 feet, gives that great visibility of associates loading and project resourcing, and tying that into the ability to extract that data into the pivot tables and being able to interrogate that data, for want of a nicer word, but being able to interrogate that data at our monthly reviews is really great. Being able to sit down with the team that's involved and say, right, does that profile look right? Do we need to add more in? I see there's a dip in week 48. What's that? Why is that? Do we need to do something about that? Is that a major issue, or are we going to be back? Are we going to be on track? So really good to be able to do that. And Smartsheet 10,000 feet supports our Howden values. We just changed our values recently. We changed ownership, and we came up with our new values. And I look at some of our values and say, thank goodness, somebody I think has been looking at Smartsheet 10,000 feet and actually built that into our values, which is, again, really good to see that what we have implemented is actually very supportive of what the business is trying to do and what we're about. Okay. But, it sounds great. It sounds as if we had a fantastic journey. It's been stressful. I started out with brown hair. I've now got white hair, and the hair I have remaining. But it's been worthwhile. But you always look back. Hindsight has 20/20 vision. So what would we do differently if we had this opportunity again? Well, I said that the headquarters of Howden Technology is in Renfrew. Our current solution is, in a lot of respects, very Renfrew-centric. Our holiday requests, etc., are very much based on our Renfrew associates, the people who work within Renfrew. During, our launch phase, we did have a working group that was made up of the other Howden sites. So we had our colleagues in Denmark and the Netherlands involved in this. And they tended to come in with, you come up with a solution and then we'll see, how that works. If we had to do this all again, I think we'd have been a bit more, we'd have leveraged that input from Denmark and the Netherlands a lot more, had them more actively involved, actually them building solutions that suited them. So, one of the things, as I say, we recognise that it is quite Renfrew-centric at the moment. However, in saying that, by implementing 10,000 feet and building in all our associates across all our sites, the level of engagement we're getting from, Nesfed and Hengelo is really great. They actively, provide us with the updates on what the team are working on and holidays, etc. So, but it'd have been good if that had happened right at the start of this journey. I think one of the other things is we would have spent more time actually understanding Smartsheet's capabilities. We tended to go into solution mode, so we'd go with, right, we're going to develop a solution before we fully thought it through, and actually going more into the 10,000 feet templates and the, some of the solutions that were already there and taking them and adapting them. But in saying that, I've got to say that the support we got from the Smartsheet team was phenomenal. And, the 10,000 feet team latterly was absolutely great and helped us to develop actually solutions that were right for us, looking at it and thinking about it in a different way. And I think the other area is that we should have reached out more to the Smartsheet community. And we're still not doing that very well, but we recognise now that there is a community out there, and we recognise that, if we do need help, let's go in and have a look to see if someone has come up against, something similar. And, let's see if we can just, use the wealth of experience and knowledge out there through the Smartsheet community.
So Willie, then this is the last question I'll ask. So, we know you're currently very busy. There's a lot going on at Howden. How do you envision Smartsheet aligning and growing with the business over the coming months and years?
I think one of the interesting things that we are finding with Smartsheet, Connor, is that, we started the Smartsheet journey, Howden started the Smartsheet journey a long time ago. And it was in one of the business units, a contracting business unit that I was actually part of. And, we looked at the solutions at that time, and we started to look at Smartsheet and introduced it from a purely scheduling viewpoint. But there wasn't a big take-up at that time of Smartsheet across the wider Howden business. I then moved into Howden technology, and when I started, and talking to my boss, David, and understanding what he was looking for Howden technology, it started to become more apparent that we could potentially take Smartsheet and develop it in more novel ways than just, scheduling. And we have, and I think because we use it quite extensively for areas out with just planning, that it's getting a bit more visibility within the business. A couple of examples of that is, a couple of weeks ago, we had a phone call from our strategic program office, who were looking at something that they could use to develop a dashboard to be able to provide information to our CEO, who could then present that data on to our owners. And it was interesting because it wasn't a what could be used to do this. It was a, Smartsheet could probably do that. right, let's reach out and, talk to the inverted commas experts. But they came and they spoke to myself and Lubica. I say Lubica's, our program controller, has spent a great deal of time developing, solutions for us within Smartsheet. Lubica was able to say, yeah, I could knock you up a dashboard in 2 days, and was able to do that. And it's really interesting that when we do get into these meetings, that there's never a question now of, right, what could we use to share this data? It's right, we'll use Smartsheet to share this data. It's still another thing that we're introducing at the moment is Yammer within the business. And one of the things that we really want to do is to start a Smartsheet community within Yammer, because I know that Smartsheet, you guys gave us a dashboard of exactly who was using Smartsheet across the business. And it was quite a revelation to us that a lot of the businesses are using Smartsheet, but we're all in silos. It'd be really powerful if we could all get together and look at, how each of us are using it. So I only see the use of Smartsheet growing within the business as we move forward.
It's brilliant to hear, and I know we're certainly excited to the future working with you and the team. So
yeah, and we're really excited to develop Smartsheet and 10,000 feet further. We really are.
Brilliant.
I just wanted to say thanks for this opportunity. I hope that our journey has been interesting. I hope our journey has given you an insight into how Smartsheet can actually be used. I think we're using Smartsheet and 10,000 feet in some quite innovative ways. I have numerous conversations with our CEO who, when we started talking about Smartsheet, he said, yes, it's just MS Project Plus, or it's just Excel Plus. And I think we have proven to the business that Smartsheet is a lot more than that. So thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity of working with you guys in Smartsheet. It's been really, really a really interesting journey. And the support that we've had from you has been fundamental to get us to where we are today. So, thank you for that.
And that feeling certainly mutual, Willie. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, Willie, and Howden for sharing your story and how Smartsheet and the solutions that you've created are having such a huge impact on your business. I'd also like to thank everyone for attending today. We appreciate your time, and we really hope you found this session useful. Before we do wrap up, I want to share some resources with you that will enable you and your teams to find answers, build solutions, and deliver value to your organization, like what Willie and the team are doing for Howden. So on the slide now, we've got a few resources. We've got our Learning Center, which provides self-service, self-help, and different learning resources for Smartsheet and 10,000 feet. We've got access to on-demand webinars. As Willie spoke about earlier on, we've got a huge online community, with your peers, colleagues, whoever it may be, to share your experiences and connect with them and think up with new solutions and so on. And then we've got training and certification. Become a Smartsheet certified user, and become your company's in-house expert. And all of those can be found on our Smartsheet website. Again, I'd like to thank you for attending today. Thanks very much.
Thank you.